Hey, it's Jeff again. Thanks for tuning into the channel and Merry Christmas to you. It is Christmas Day, December 25th, 2019. So I will say Merry Christmas to you. If you don't celebrate Christmas, maybe it's Happy Hanukkah, Joyous Kwanzaa, or just Happy Holidays, or maybe you're just happy you don't have to stand in line at the store anymore. Whatever it is, I hope you're having a great day. And I thank you for tuning into the channel, which I have renamed, you may have noticed, Let's Kill Fred. Let's Kill Fred was my original Facebook group that I created when I was diagnosed with throat cancer. The technical term is squamous cell carcinoma of the base of tongue. I created a Facebook group called Let's Kill Fred. I named my tumor Fred for feeble radiation-eating disease and went on a safari, if you will, to hunt Fred down and kill him. And that appears to be what we've done. I have had my fifth scan, and so far all five scans, CT scans and blood work have all shown no evidence of disease. With this particular type of cancer, they don't say cured until 5 years out, if then, but we're a year and a half out at this point, and things are looking good as far as Fred being Ned and well on his way to being dead. So Let's Kill Fred's been pretty much of a success in a lot of ways. The last time we talked, I was in the midst of meeting with a cardiologist to try to figure out what was going on with my heart. I have some irregular heartbeat issues that can get my attention. At times, my heart will be beating in a normal rhythm, and then all of a sudden it will kind of do its impersonation of a really excited high school bass drummer in the marching band, just a bum, 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 a few times. And that'll catch you off guard if you're not expecting it. But the cardiologist tells me that this is not life-threatening at this point. He keeps reassuring me that I'm not going to have a heart attack. And he also said that with the exception of the medication that I'm currently taking, there's probably not a lot we can do without causing some pretty serious side effects. And I've got a lot of side effects going on as the result of my cancer, he says as he reaches for his water bottle. So I really don't want to add any more side effects to that. So let's talk about those side effects. Currently, I still have difficulty eating. There is a pocket in my throat where Fred was located. Essentially, there's a place in my throat that just looks like this, like I'm cupping my hand right now. Food comes down over the back of my tongue, and a lot of times it just hits and goes down my throat. Quite frequently, it hits that pocket. When it does, it's painful, and it feels like I'm strangling. I have learned to not react as if I'm strangling, because I'm not. It's nowhere near my windpipe or my vocal cords. It's not going to harm me. And I think knowing that and being able to react more calmly to it has made it much easier to deal with. But I do have to kind of clear my throat, shift the muscles around in my throat, drink some water to get the food out of that pocket and to get it to move on down, because I really can't do anything else until it's out of there. So that's one of the major side effects of this. I do have a multitude of hearing issues as a result of cisplatin chemotherapy. I have some mid-range hearing loss. I still hear things, but they are muddy. They're not clear and crisp like they used to be. I have to ask people to repeat themselves a lot, and unfortunately, hearing aids are probably somewhere in the future, but I'm about to turn 55 years old, and I've been working really hard on this bald spot, so I'm going to hold off on the hearing aids for as long as I can. I think I've made about as much age progression as I want to for this year. I have the ringing in the ears, the tinnitus. It's always there. A lot of times it's almost unnoticeable. Right now, it's pretty strong. It sounds kind of like someone whistling, just a continuous wind whistle, kind of a that kind of a sound. And so it's annoying, but I can work around that. I have a condition called hyperacusis, which means that certain sounds under certain circumstances sound much louder to me, painfully louder. And by painful, I don't mean as in it's so loud it hurts. I mean I physically feel the sound. Probably the best example and probably the worst thing that I have to deal with in this regard is the clanking of glasses and silverware and dishes together in a restaurant that uses, nicer stuff, porcelain plates and that kind of thing. That clanking sound literally feels like someone is taking cotton swabs and sticking them in my ears and shoving them into my eardrums. It is physically painful. As a result of that, you learn a lot of coping mechanisms when you're dealing with the side effects and after effects of cancer treatment. I carry earplugs with me everywhere I go. If I get into a situation where it starts to hurt my ears, I just pop the earplugs in. I have to focus a little harder to hear what people are saying, to understand what people are saying, but I'm able to work around the hyperacusis in that regard. So again, these things are annoying, and they are somewhat, to some degree, debilitating, but they don't keep you from living your life, or at least they haven't kept me from that. I do have peripheral neuropathy. I have tingling and numbness in my fingertips, in the bottoms of my feet, in my toes, and I jokingly say also in my lips when I try to say the phrase peripheral neuropathy. Wow, I had to work on that one, and I talk for a living. But in any event, those side effects are there as well. I have the dry mouth that goes along with having had radiation to the head and neck. Most of my salivary glands are destroyed. There is a little bit of saliva production there, but it's not nearly enough to function continuously. I probably go through 6 or 8 of these water bottles a day. I think this is a 16 or 20 ounce bottle. I drink a lot. I do the other thing a lot that goes along with having to drink a lot. And, it's accommodating the side effects and the after effects of treatment, but it's not unbearable. My taste buds, I can taste things. I can identify what things are. They don't taste like I remember them. I am much more sensitive to spice, heat type foods, Mexican food, that kind of thing, than I used to be. I wasn't particularly a spicy food person before. Now I can't stand it. It's just unbearable. I can't taste much of anything that is supposed to be sweet. I can tell what it is. My wife made a chocolate pie for Christmas and also made chocolate gravy for breakfast this morning. If you've never had chocolate gravy, look it up and try it. It's incredible. Anyway, I could tell that it was chocolate, but it wasn't sweet, and nothing sweet to me. About the only thing I can taste that actually has a sweet taste to it would be strawberries and bananas, which would lead you to believe, since Splenda is made from strawberries and bananas, that Splenda would work as a sweetener for me, but it doesn't. I can't tell the difference between sweet tea and unsweet tea. I can kind of tell the difference, but it's not like one is unsweet and one is sweet. It's like one is unsweet and one is less unsweet, if that makes any sense. So those are the kinds of things that you deal with, with the taste buds having been essentially fried by the radiation, and I don't know if the cisplatin had an impact on that as well. I have chronic fatigue. I am tired all the time. I wake up tired. I go to bed tired. I'm tired. And when I'm not tired, I'm still tired. That is probably, some of that probably has to do with the damage to my heart and with my heart racing from time to time. There also may be some breathing issues as a result of the changes in the structure of my throat and the salivary function. So I had a sleep test. Been some crossed wires and some miscommunication, so I'll be meeting with pulmonary specialist after the first of the year to look at that. But they kind of told me when I started treatment that this was something that could happen and that it could just be one of those get used to it, you're going to be tired all the time things. Again, it's annoying, but it's not unbearable. And so let me take a quick drink. I want to use that to springboard into this. I mentioned that I have the Facebook group called Let's Kill Fred. I've actually created a website called letskillfred.com. And I did that because I've had a few opportunities to speak since I finished treatment and since I kind of got well enough that I can go out and be around people and be a somewhat functional member of society. And the short version of this is, when I was 24 years old, I broke my back. I was paralyzed, and I was told I was never going to walk again. That ended up not being correct. The doctors call it a medical anomaly. I call it a miracle. You can think whatever you want. But I was able to walk again. But I lost my career in law enforcement. I lost my ability to engage in martial arts, which was something that I really enjoyed. It was a hobby that I was very passionate about. I actually was an instructor. And I couldn't do those things anymore. And I was very bitter and angry about that. And I stayed bitter and angry about that for a long time. And made some stupid decisions as a result of that, and drove people away, and did a lot of things that, if I could go back and live my life over again, blah, 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 but you can't, okay? But what you can do is learn from those things. And I did learn from those things, and I grew up. Even my wife will give me credit for that. And I learned coping mechanisms and learned ways to respond to stressful situations and adversity differently than I did when I broke my back. And that did not make hearing the words "you've got cancer" easy by any stretch of the imagination, but it did give me a different perspective and a different way of responding to it. I remember when the GI doctor called me to give me my results, and I said, "Great, what are we looking at?" And he said, "Can you come into the office?" I knew right then I had cancer. He hadn't told me that. No one had said that, but I just knew. And my attitude was, okay, this is going to happen. I can't avoid this. What good can come out of this? What can I learn from this? How can I help other people? Who will be put in my path that I will be able to help? I would never have met online through YouTube had it not been for me getting cancer. We just never would have gotten into contact with each other. I consider that an amazing blessing that thousands of people have watched these videos, and a few of you have even responded and said, "Hey, this helped me get through being diagnosed with cancer. This helped me be not so afraid of going into treatment. This helped me when I was in treatment because I see you on the other side of treatment and I see the improvement as you deal with the side effects and the after effects, and I know I'm going to be able to make it." That means the world to me. And that never would have happened had I not been diagnosed with cancer. So the reason for all of this rambling about this, and the reason for creating the Let's Kill Fred website, letskillfred.com, is that, as somebody jokingly said when I was telling them this the other day, "So you want to take this show on the road?" Yeah, I do. I want to stand up in front of any group that will have me and tell them my story of, this is something bad that happened to me and how I dealt with it poorly, and these were the consequences. And here's something else bad that happened to me, and this is how I dealt with it well, and these have been the benefits and the blessings as a result of that. I want to tell that story to anybody who is willing to listen. Everybody has a Fred. Everybody has something that is standing between them and where they want to be and what they want to have and where they want to go and who they want to become. That's your Fred, whatever it is that's standing between you and your goal. My Fred at one point in my life was cancer. And with a lot of help from a lot of really brilliant people, we killed him. And I want to help you learn how to kill your Fred too. I want to help your coworkers, your friends, the people in your church, your synagogue, whatever. I want to share that message that whatever your Fred is, you can kill it and you can get past it and you can get to that goal. You can achieve that. You can reach that dream. And if I sound a little bit excited, it's because I am. Because this is not just a pep talk to me. This is not just, oh, we've got a motivational speaker from a guy who lives in a van down by the river. The old Saturday Night Live skit. It's not that. I passionately believe something that Norman Vincent Peale said years ago. Change your thoughts, change your world. Now, that can be false. If all you do is change the way you think and you don't do anything about it, nothing's going to change. But if you change your thoughts and then you take action on those new thoughts, if you change your focus from the negative to the positive, if you change the questions you ask from why me to why not me, from how could this happen to how can I help somebody else, from what's going to happen to me to what can I do for others as a result of this, if you make that shift and then you do something with that, you take positive action based on those positive thoughts, not only can you change your own life, but you can change the world. I sincerely believe that. And I'd like to share that message with anybody who wants to listen. So thank you so much again, and do know that I am praying for you. If you would like to leave a question or comment below, I will be happy to answer that. I always include the caveat that I am not a medical professional. I will not answer medical questions. I will refer those to the fine folks at the UT/MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston because, well, they do head and neck cancer every day and they save my life. But in any event, hey, I say in any event a lot. Thank you again, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, God bless you, and whatever your Fred is, let's kill Fred.